Hello and welcome to this week's Generation Iron podcast. Your hosts, me, Victor Martinez, Ehsan Farahi, Vlad Yudin, and Edwin Mejia. Sup, Edwin? Question of the week, day, month, whatever it is.
We got two questions today, actually.
Two questions, all right. I hope one of them is a woman, so that way they don't feel left out.
So we have two questions this week. Two questions because they were both great questions, important questions, and very adamant about getting them answered by you, Vic, of course. So the first question is a long one, but it comes from Pimen Samimi. The question is, I used to train for a year, but I stopped exercising for almost 6 years. Now I'm 25 and I'm working out again. One of my biggest weaknesses is that my upper inner chest is almost non-existent. So for that same reason, my mid and lower chest overpowers my upper chest. What is Vic's recommendation to fix that problem? To give some more information about myself, I should say I'm 5'6", I weigh 160 pounds, but I want to go down to 149 to get lean. But of course, I won't just go by the scale. I'll also look at the mirror. As far as exercising is concerned, I work out 3 to 4 times a week because I'm a beginner and I do cardio 6 times a week. Also, I'm natural and I've never done any PEDs. Thanks for everything, Generation Iron.
All right.
I like how he provided a lot of details. That's good.
His name is Peyman Samimi. He's Iranian. Shout out to Iranian fans.
Nice.
But I heard a lot of contradictories to what he's doing. One, you only worked out for a year.
Yeah, why he took 6 years off?
You took 6 years off. What do you expect other than no muscle? 2, you're 160, you want to go to 149. Less muscle. Training 3 times a week. Less maturity.
A lot of cardio.
So a lot of things and a lot of cardio. So a lot of things are contradictory to what you want to do, which is, do you want to build muscle or you just want to stay in shape? I sure as hell know that you definitely don't want to compete for a fact because you're not training enough. So let's focus on the area on your chest. One, you're not doing certain exercises that will develop that area. If you want to build a certain area, one thing I could tell you is pre-exhaust that area. For example, upper chest, you said, right? Let's pre-exhaust it. Let's do some incline flies, real lightweight, high reps, and do some, supersets with some flies and incline barbell presses. To hit the center area, you can actually do some, close grip, push-ups while you pre-exhaust in between sets. If you really want to build that area, add a second workout throughout the week. 3 times a week, it's okay, but you're only going to build that certain muscle. Not everybody's Dexter Jackson, So, and also, again, remember, you're not using. So training and more frequent workouts is what's going to get you there. And then you're doing a lot of cardio. That's also going to restrict a lot of your muscle. Remember, you're not using. I'm not trying to get you to use, but, for one, you need more workouts, you need more calories, you need more consistency. So that being said, also add some flat dumbbell presses. That's going to be your mass builder, And again, you're going down in weight, you're doing the cardio. So the mass builders, to get that, you have to lift heavier. So doing all that cardio, going down, is also going to restrict how strong you're going to be. I'm not assuming you're strong to begin with, but if you are, that's going to be the key to building that extra mass in that area, and, just try to, the pre-exhaust, massage the area if you can, the chest area, to actually, also let a lot of blood flow go into the muscle. Load up on carb drinks, post-workouts, eat some pasta, because now I don't know how you look, I don't know how you look, and 6 years off, if you're starting up again, let's keep it compound movements.
And he's young, 25 years old, I think.
Yeah, he's beginner. I'm prefer to him started upper chest at the beginning.
Yes.
Usually people started in flat bench press or flat bench press. But it started with the incline.
Incline
Started with
flies, yo.
incline. The chest day started with incline, and absolutely 2 times a week. If weakness, it's 2 times a week because you have to hammer it, man.
Twice a week, and remember, if you're gonna do the fly, the pec deck fly, make sure you don't do it and keep your
Together.
arms, kind of, still opened up. When you bring them in, make sure you
Hands
straighten out those
straight.
arms, and it actually helps you hit that middle area. I mean, there's so many exercises I can tell you, but they usually work a lot of times when you already have the muscle. You need to build the muscle right now. So let's go heavy. Start with the incline pre-exhaust, incline barbell, which is the best. Not incline hammer. Stay away from hammer. I will recommend incline barbell, whether it's Smith or free weight barbell. A lot of kids and a lot of gyms, the hammer strength equipment, it's okay, but if you're trying to build muscle, I would say, it's not okay. I'd rather see you, if you're a beginner, it's okay because it lets you balance the weight, easy to avoid injuries. But I'll say do the incline barbell for that.
Wow, that was very detailed, Vic.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, it's just get those calories in if you're going to be doing that cardio.
And he's winning the protein, so he's going to get some calories.
Yeah.
Calorie. That day
So,
you have a chest day, eat carbs, eat potato and rice.
And add another day to that workout. Come on, man. Let's bring it up to 5.
So congrats, P. Meaning. Hope that answers your question. Thanks, Vic, for answering, as always, the important questions that the public has to hear and wants to listen on. And again, you win your choice of carnivore RTD, best beef protein in the market, or the carnivore beef protein. You name it, and we'll send it over to you. And thanks again to Muscle Meds for covering this podcast and helping us and sponsoring the podcast. And thanks again, Vic, for answering the question.
Great answer, I thought,
That would make me want to go anywhere else.
To just sit back, listen to some music. Definitely recommend this clinic, yeah, definitely.
So the second question comes to us from Superman 94.
Superman.
Powerful.
Superman. I'll introduce you Batman.
Let's hear the super question.
So let's see Superman and Batman. What's
Yeah.
Let's see if
Our
it's super.
odds, our odds were that there will be a PED question coming up soon, and this one's a PED question. What does your cycle look like when you were competing at Mr. O, Vic?
You need to pay for that.
Exactly.
You need to pay for that one, man. That was in the vault, man. I actually have it memorized, but no, man, I'm not gonna give you that.
You
bro.
write it down? You write it down everything or no?
I have it on my freaking AOL email.
AOL.
It's a messenger.
Yeah, nah, man. I just can't give you that for nothing, man.
There's a
Come on.
price for that, Superman 94. So you...
So
But
there's another
it's
winner
not
now.
as crazy as most people would think. It wasn't that crazy. It wasn't 2,000 milligrams of test or nothing like that. I know people wish it was, but I was one of the guys that used enough. I used enough. I never believed I want to do more because I'm going to get like Ronnie. It doesn't work that way. Genetically, it just doesn't. But I used enough, and it's nothing that I've seen like, some people put out like a Rich Piana cycle. It was never that crazy, and that's why I'm still here.
Wow,
Yeah.
Vic. Too soon, man.
No, rest in peace, Rich. I like Rich. No. No, I'm just saying the other guys that actually, did so much and really didn't get anywhere, putting out these crazy cycles. it wasn't geared at him at all. It's just people always expect something crazy, like something like, 50 milligrams a day of hollow test. I never used, more than 30, and that was only the week of the show, and no more than 3 weeks out of the show.
When people ask the question, share your cycle, what do you think they want to achieve with it? They want to copy it?
They want to copy it because they think it's going to give them the same effect,
Right.
but it doesn't really work that way, and I'm just not trying to rain on your parade here, but it's just doesn't work that way. That's why every good coach that's working with an athlete that's already using and decided to use, the coach should literally kind of give him a little at a time to kind of see where he's at and his response time. Let's not just go straight for the freaking kill, load you up, and then say, hey, look, quality doesn't work that way. Build as much as build as much as you can with the hard work, with as little as possible. Get the best results, So it's not really, everybody's cycles are. I think Dorian Yates put out his cycle.
Yeah, I think
I
he
ask you
did.
a question. I ask you a question. All Miss Olympia you compete or all show you compete, your cycle was same?
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
But again, the only thing that changed was the source, and that made a big difference too. When the source changed, it was like, when the compound pharmacies, for example, in Florida came out, it was probably the worst result I ever had.
Do you think that there are bodybuilders out there, champion bodybuilders that are using, like, let's say, sources in Mexico versus?
Well, Mexico was good at one point,
And then they had this issue where they banned it or they stopped it or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, no, it's never stopped in Mexico. No way. The cartel controlled the
Well, according to Rich Piana's people, there was like a big moment where a lot of a lot of steroids were being mass produced in Mexico,
mass produced,
and then it stopped.
Yes.
For a while. I don't know what the kind of the details are. Vlad and I heard this.
So you started. There was more dealers in California because there was a shortage, basically.
There was a shortage
Yes.
of steroids quality steroids coming from Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know what year that was, but then that happened. That shifted. That must have been 2015 to 2017,
Yeah,
2018 or something. I don't know.
After 2010, there was a lot of bogus stuff, cheaper stuff. If something said 200 milligrams, it was really like 100. A lot of contaminated things, going around. But Mexico, at the end of the day, people just stopped crossing the border because it started, obviously, when a cop saw you, freaking traps up to the top of your head. It's like, really? Let me search you, So it was one of those things. But again, it's controlled by, cartels, and it's still going to...
Anyway, so Victor refuses to share the cycle, so that's part of life.
It's just, again, it's
Doesn't
just
wanna
one of
do it.
those things, like, what is the point? I don't want to push it,
Yeah, well, hopefully
Go on TRT.
Superman 94, you can submit another question. We'll look.
You're still going to get the Muscle Med product.
Yeah, why not? Let's send it to him.
We'll get you Muscle Meds products. You're this week's also winner of Carnivore RTD or Carnivore Beef Protein.
There you go.
That brings us to a topic which obviously has been circulating and doing the rounds in the media space, particularly in the bodybuilding world, which is Sadiq's addressing the dark side of bodybuilding with steroids, right? His quote was, the main thing was, my mentality was different and not so much in a good way because then I started suffering from once in a while I would get panic attacks. I would really get kind of either hyper aggressive or hyper happy. You're dealing with extreme mood swings. So that was his address. On steroids, some people took it as, oh, well, now he's complaining about it because obviously he's not in the limelight as much or whatever the case is. But, of course, there is a dark side to certain things if you abuse it. So I guess that's a good point. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Vic?
No, I mean, anybody, especially if you're a person who already is having mood swings, remember, it's just going to enhance it because that's what steroids does as a side effect.
Right.
But you have to really control yourself, and that goes to show that, abusing it's not going to make your muscles bigger, but it's going to increase your side effects more. It's one of those things that you have to really approach and have respect for it. You just can't start, poking yourself and think, oh, you know what? I like my hair, but I want to be bigger. Dude, you might lose your hair. You know, I love my wife, but sometimes she gets on my nerve. She's gonna get more on your nerves, you know, taking it. So, I mean, have I ever raged? It's like I can't say so because most of the times I did fight, I was off. So I wasn't really on it. So I can't really. I think the only time I would have to say, and I keep saying this time and time again in this show, I feel like Groundhog Day, you know, was Tren. Was Tren. It was one of those things where I'm like, damn, why I feel like a freaking, you know, juice crackhead, you know, and that's why I call it, you know, the crack of juice, you know, because it made me impulsive, made me crazy, you know. To that guy, I think the statute of limitations ran out, you know, to that guy knocked out, you know, yo, my bad, you know, it's like, you hit my car.
But you know, all mood, the happy, sad, depression, all those mood inside the body is going up and down and changing with hormones.
Yes.
So when you're using hormones, obviously this is nothing. I mean, those things that Sadiq said, everyone knows that.
But he wants to share it with his fans. So
Yeah, I mean,
You have to
my
share
point
it.
is not such a thing is new. I mean, you're using the testosterone. Obviously, your mood is changed.
Right.
It's like a period for the woman. You know, the mood is changed.
Right.
You don't know that the woman is wake up in the morning.
It's hormones.
Yes, it's hormones.
It's hormones.
Up
So your
and down.
hormones gonna go out of whack. It's gonna get you to that high feel. You see guys when they're on a cycle, they walk around in the gym, they're rude. They don't share the equipment. They don't, you know, they're yelling at people. They high and mighty. You take away the juice, you're gonna see them like freaking, you know, almost like they put a chastity on their nuts. You know, it's like they simmer down a bit. You know,
is it better to be single as a man bodybuilder or woman, whatever? Is it better to be single while you take this career seriously, you think?
Single or married? I mean, you
Single.
mean single with the
Completely
girlfriend
single.
or completely?
No, just while you competing, just be single.
No, I think
No,
your girlfriend is
I
good.
think you need an obedient girl when you're competing.
Excuse me, what are you saying?
All the
An
feminists will be
obedient
mad.
girl.
Oh, really?
All the feminists will be really mad
Girl
at you
that,
right
that
now.
will just listen and just does what you say and
And shuts
follows
the
and
fuck up.
adheres to what you need and follow and, you know, and just, you know, cállate. You know, but, I know you girls are gonna hate me for this, but same thing goes for the guys, you know, who deal with a woman that competes, you know. Woman wants a guy that's just gonna, you know, basically cater to her needs. And it's one of those things that very few people can do. And so is single better if you're in your prime? I mean, I could say yes now. I'm good. I can say, yeah, I could say so.
Is it better to? You think if you're a bodybuilder, it's better to date a woman that's in the industry also and competed before?
No. I mean, it could help. Yes, it could.
She understands the
But
diet.
she
you know.
understand. But when I started, I think it was best that the woman wasn't. And that's, I would think, would help, you know, you a little bit more, you know. But if you're gonna have two people juicing in the house, it's gonna be a big problem, man.
Two juicers.
Yeah, two juicers doesn't blend too well.
Keep the juice separate.
Yeah, keep the juice separate.
Well, New York State right now, this is another top. This is one of our main topics of the day, of course, because, you know, it leads from what we were talking about PTs. But New York State has become the first state to ban over-the-counter muscle building and fat burning products.
Like proteins.
Basically,
creatines.
fat burners, anything that
I wouldn't
has.
think protein.
I'm not-
22
For minors.
for minors.
Anybody under 18 basically needs adult supervision or
To go to
adult,
GNC.
you know, approval to buy muscle building products and fat loss products. So in other words, anything with weight loss like green extract, creatine, anything that has to do with muscle building or weight
Pre-workout
loss
pumpage, yeah.
is now banned in New York for anybody under 18. Sorry. So anybody under 18 is unable to buy those products. Now, a lot of people are saying those are guardrails that are being put in place finally by state assembly members because they want to protect children. And now there's
Do
a
they
rise.
really want to protect them?
Right.
I don't believe when
Why do
government
they-
says we want to protect.
Why do they do
want
this?
to cut? They want to cut. That's what it is.
Well,
They
there's
wanna cut
also,
from the
you know, the-
multi-million-dollar industry.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of research out there that we just saw that there's kids in school because of social media. There's a lot of bad influences on social media where people want to, you know, they want to be bigger, they want to be stronger, they want to look bigger, they want to look better.
Beating the cat.
Right. So a lot of that is,
Yeah, don't beat the cat.
a lot of that stems from muscle dysmorphia, which we cover well in Bigorexia. And if anybody has not seen our film Bigorexia, I highly recommend you watch it. It's on Prime right now. For anybody who has a Prime membership, you can watch it on there. But,
Perfect movie for everybody. It's a beautiful movie.
so what are your thoughts on that, Vic? Obviously, there's a lot of...
Are you for it or against it?
New York has become the first state to do that, by the way. So you could say kids are going to get it anyway. It's kind of like alcohol, right?
Yeah.
If you're like in high school.
They're gonna
you
go to
get
Jersey to
alcohol,
buy
you're
it.
gonna
Easier
I
than
know,
alcohol.
right? Cross the border, you know. Once they got the law across the... I'm gonna get in trouble with that. Stop saying that. But listen, at the end of the day, I think the worst thing kids takes is the pre-workouts.
Yeah.
That's it. So
And fat burning too.
the fat burners, pre-workouts. When I see a kid who's like 16, 17 using pre-workout, and I see him coming up to me at the gym, the first thing I see is the shakes. I'm like, don't talk to me, man. Because all you do is just yap, do a set, and text 10 times, and do one set for every 10 texts, you know? So it's like, if they have to ban it for that reason, fine. But at the end of the day, proteins or anything, but these governments, they don't really care about you, man. They don't give a damn. You know, they're doing it for their own reasons, that they're not gaining enough money, you know, like they do from FDA-approved drugs that kill more people and hurt more people in the market.
That's the issue. And then yet, you know, there's nothing preventing there's no clearances. The FDA does not approve products like muscle building products, so that you could easily get them on the shelf, right? So that's the other layer which nobody talks about. But you bring up a good point regarding social media. Why are kids are really influenced by social media? I can only imagine being 15, 16 today, and you have kids, right, Vic? Yeah. Where if you're looking at TikTok or social media and this kid is your age and he looks ripped, lean, has muscles, and you don't have that, that is a massive influence on you. And I could see why that's a huge issue. And maybe people should go the route of DeSantis, where he approved the law where kids under 16 can't have social media.
Yeah, and it's just the restrictions is going to create more chaos, you know, more chaos. Because, you know, I was the kid that said, danger, don't come in. I'm like, why not? And I was just trying to
come in,
go in and find a way in. So, I mean, again, it's all money, control, and power. It's not about freaking caring and we care about you and all this. I mean, it goes back decades. It goes back, I mean, again, other than the actual, you know, pre-workouts. I mean, but kids, I mean, if you're 15, 14, shouldn't be using that stuff anyways.
Don't need it.
They don't need it.
They don't need it at all.
But 18 is I mean, at 17.
No,
come on.
21, 22 don't need it.
Protein powder?
Protein, pre-workout.
No, protein, I think protein is simple, you know. Carbs, fine, but I think it's more of whatever binders they have in it.
Yeah, I think when you're 18 or 17 or 16 and you take that pre-workout for the first time,
man already.
You don't need it. Wow.
Your veins are popping out. Everything is like, your blood circulation is through the roof.
Yeah.
I think it's a precedent for other states. So what's going to happen is, I think New York is being the first one to do it. Then it's going to be New Jersey. Then it's going to, you know, the Northeast. Then it's going to go down.
We're going to bring this one back because I'm going to have to consult with my man Rick Collins on these laws and all this stuff.
Yeah, Rick is good.
He's the master on this. And I'm not going to stay here giving you, you know, bro opinions on it. But at the end of the day, there's certain drugs they shouldn't be using anyways because of their age. They could build good muscle at that age. They should be playing sports anyways, you know, and lifting a little, 3 times a week, you know, not at 25, 3 times a week when you're, you know, 14. Yeah. But it's one of these things that consult with him, come back, and we're going to get a little bit deeper on this because we'll see what this New York State governor is doing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Well, here's a question as well, Vic. I mean, do you think it's possible to get really ripped and jacked with low testosterone? Now, There's some claims out there, and then we've actually seen some guys. I think Alex Hormozy
yeah.
came out recently, not recently, but a while ago, and said that he had low tests. I think 124 tests,
And he got
which is
jacked.
kind of low. And he said he got very, very ripped and shredded on that. Is that possible for a normal
I mean, you're just
person,
losing
or-
body fat. So you could get ripped, you're just not building extra muscle. So you're just losing body fat.
Yeah.
That's what. So yes, you can get ripped.
You can get ripped with 125 level of testosterone if you block estrogen. That's the key.
If you block estrogen.
If you block
estrogen is
estrogen.
high, yes. Yeah. If your
So he
estrogen is
didn't say
high-
he didn't say everything. He didn't say everything. But if you block estrogen, 125 is high. Your estrogen goes low as much as 0.
But it is possible.
It is possible.
Yes.
100%.
So it is possible to
Getting
be very
shredded is
lean.
really not that difficult.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
Because
building the
I-
muscle and getting shredded.
It's
at the
actually
same
safe
time.
if you block estrogen and with low testosterone. It's very, very safe because your blood pressure not going up. When you're taking testosterone or your testosterone
blood pressure
up,
is going up.
your blood pressure is up.
Right. So, we've had people like Dr. O'Connor tell us, hey, the leaner the better, your testosterone will be better. In that case, that's not necessarily true. You can have a very low testosterone and be very lean and thin, right? So that's interesting. But it's all about the estrogen.
Estrogen. If you block estrogen, which is the woman hormones,
Right.
everyone has it. Woman and man has testosterone and estrogen, but the level is different. For some persons, estrogen goes up.
So,
And one more thing, and as testosterone goes up, you lost your hair.
yeah. So
That's the problem too.
Yeah. So
That's the side effect. Good old side effect.
we encountered a lot of questions also from people that ask, hey, I'm 25 years old and I have libido issues. Is it because I have low testosterone? Is it because I'm not interested in my girl? That is a question that we get. And I highly doubt, Vic, that those guys are having, real testosterone issues. Because at that age,
We're gonna have to do the picture test. See if he gets excited. We like show big boobs, small boobs, medium boobs. Let's see, is it really the test?
or there's a something an imbalance of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Chemically, somewhere, biologically. I don't
I
know.
mean, you gotta remember this: the imbalance is also stress.
Right.
It could be stress. I mean, a lot of
Anxiety
times.
of some sort. Yeah.
I mean,
Anxiety, stress.
some people don't care. They could be broke as hell and have money, and they still have the same drive.
Yeah.
Right.
They just don't give a damn.
Have you
know?
seen that? Have you heard that? Where some guy's like, under 30 and then he has like libido issues or
Yes.
Yes.
Or
One
like-
guy, he was 25 at a poker game, and
How'd that come up?
he just started talking about it, man. And he had this Mongolian girlfriend.
Mongolian?
Yeah, like super smart. She actually beat us at the table that night.
He started talking about this in front of her?
In front of her. She was like a boss, and I'm like, dude.
What? That's crazy,
And what was
bro.
the issue?
Damn, man, I can't. He just.
Oh,
brought it
did
up.
she bring it up? Like, he doesn't
No,
bang
he
on her?
No, he brought up.
He brought it up.
He brought
man.
up front of her.
She was nearby.
Oh.
She was nearby, but I know she was just kind of like, yeah, motherfucker, see him out. But no, it's one of those things where I said, man, you're 25, bro. You shouldn't be feeling this way. This is not good,
Right,
you know.
of course.
And guess what? What he said, I used a lot of Tren.
Oh,
that's
that was
it.
the explanation.
That's it.
No, that's how he started off. It's like, well, I use a lot of Tren in my tests, and I'm not. And I was like, dude,
That's the problem.
Usually, so when guys say, hey, you know what, I take Tren and I'm fine. I'm like, go ahead.
Well, because now as a trend, you have a lot of guys that have
crash.
those issues with libido issues that can't, hold an erection or whatever the case is. But you have these companies like Hims or Hers that are coming out. They're selling over the counter or like mailing like
Yeah,
pills.
I've seen a lot of commercials.
It's a big business.
Yeah.
So but I think that it's becoming so
I
prominent.
think people can do it naturally, really. If they just start working out a little,
They
change
need
their
that
diets.
activity, yeah.
Change their diets. Whatever the stress is it work? Usually that alone will block anything sexual interest. I mean, depression alone
Of course.
can change it. You know, are you taking a drug to fix one thing and it gives you an adverse effect for the other? You know, you're taking something for your hair. You know,
Are you sleeping well? Are you? Yeah, things
it's
like
a
that.
lot of factors, and right away, people so quick to fix it with a pill.
Immediately, right?
Right away, they want
Now,
to fix it with a pill.
one more thing is very affecting is the cholesterol. When the cholesterol is up,
Yup.
doesn't let you blood circulation become complete. And the best thing for those people are running.
Yes.
Run. It's really help.
Yeah, don't go icing your balls, man. Just run, man.
When you run, basically your your blood goes up.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us in this week's Generation Iron podcast. Remember, follow us, like, and if you want to see any of our prior episodes, tune into iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Until next time.
What is up, guys? Keem Williams here, and I'm here today in the Muscle Meds warehouse with this amazing product. It's called Aromatest. Aromatest is a natural aromatase inhibitor that's going to keep your estrogen levels low. Elevated estrogen levels can lead to three things: a bloated look, which is caused from water retention, increased body fat, and also gynecomastia, which are three things that you definitely want to avoid. So head to the website today at www.musclemedsrx.com and try the Aromatest today.